Today we're going to take some time to talk about Death Stranding and go over whether or not it is going to be a true PS4 console exclusive or if it's actually going to come to PC. There's been a lot of discussion about this going on for a little while now, and a lot of you have asked me to make a video kind of talking about it, give my thoughts on it, and so I thought I would do that today because there's a little bit more evidence that has come out to point to the idea that, yeah, Death Stranding is most likely going to be coming to PC. And obviously this upsets some people while some people celebrate this. And I thought it would be worth taking a little bit of time here to just give my thoughts and opinions on it. So it says here that Kojima Productions' Death Stranding is receiving an exclusive new look at Gamescom on August 19th. While we don't know what the latter could contain, aside from a new trailer, there may be other announcements afoot. Reset Era user Vestan recently spotted that Death Stranding has been removed from the PS4 exclusives list on the site for PlayStation Australia. Perhaps it was never there to begin with. However, the Wayback Machine notes that as of May 31st, Death Stranding was indeed listed as a PS4 exclusive on the same page. It could also be an error of the sorts, but the sudden timing with the upcoming Gamescom reveal does seem fishy. It's interesting to note that Death Stranding was initially announced as a PS4 exclusive with a PC release happening later, as noted by this archived press release from Sony. The focus in recent years has been on the game's status as a high-profile PS4 exclusive. Still, if a PC version was announced, Gamescom wouldn't be such a bad place to do it. So this obviously further fuels the idea of Death Stranding going to PC, and it is really important to note here that, yeah, it's true. Death Stranding initially was supposed to be a PS4 game as well as a PC game, or a PC release coming later on, but it's just something that hasn't really been talked about in such a long time, and the way Sony has been handling it and the way it's been marketed, it's just kind of been assumed that it's going to be a true console PS4 exclusive. And if I'm being completely honest, guys, I am fully anticipating the announcement that it's going to be coming to PC at some point, whether it's at Gamescom or later on. It just seems like there's too much here pointing to it. Another thing that people brought up more recently was when we got the official box art for Death Stranding, which I think looks fine. There's a lot of people who don't like the way it looks. I'm perfectly fine with it. But a lot of people were upset at the fact that, or noticed, I should say, I'm sure there certainly were some people that were upset, but people noticed that on the top right corner of the box, where it should say only on PlayStation, it didn't say anything, further alluding to the idea that it's not truly a PS4 exclusive game. Now, this is important because it really kind of fuels the conversation surrounding the idea of, well, are exclusives bad? Should we not care about exclusives? You know, is the future truly one where exclusive games don't really exist anymore? Is this way of Sony kind of showing that they're going to start adopting the Microsoft approach of things, which is there are no more console exclusives? Every first-party game that they release is going to also release on PC and maybe eventually down the line on other platforms. Well, I can really only speak for myself. And I am somebody who cares greatly about console gaming, and more than anything, I want to see console gaming not only survive, I want it to thrive. I want it to be as relevant as it can be. I want it to be at the forefront. And frankly, in my opinion, the only way console gaming can remain as relevant as it has been throughout all of these years going forward is within the exclusive game lineup. I feel like there's just no way around that. And frankly, and I don't mean to say this, I'm not trying to start some kind of console war or flame war in the comments or anything when I say this, but I feel as though it is worth taking a good look at Xbox One sales, especially more recently. And it's clear that people are they haven't been buying Xbox Ones, and now more than ever, they're just not buying Xbox One consoles. And there's a lot of reasons for this, but make no mistake in the fact that one of the main reasons for this is because people know and people are well aware that they can now get their games on other devices. They can get their games through PC, and especially with xCloud and everything, and Game Pass and all of their games, being on Game Pass day and date, People just aren't really worried about the idea of, oh, if I want to play Halo Infinite, I need an Xbox, and I need to worry about buying Project Scarlet or an Xbox One X or something like that. They're just not thinking that way anymore, to whereas they used to think that way. And you see the results of this. You see the result, and the result is the Xbox console. The Xbox as a console is less relevant than it ever has been before. And that's just the hard truth of the matter. And if you look at the consoles that are doing well, you look at the PlayStation 4, you look at the Nintendo Switch, you can even look to past consoles that have performed really well, and there's just a common thread between all of them, and that is they offer games that you can only get through that console. Now, here's the thing. If you're somebody who does not care about console that much, then I can understand why you really just don't care about exclusive games or the idea of exclusive games not existing anymore. I totally understand that. It's really just within each individual to determine what they like best, what they prefer. And when you figure out what it is exactly you prefer, then you're going to be able to make up your own opinion. So if you're somebody who's just like, look, I just buy the console to access the games that I can't access on PC or elsewhere, then you know what, that's a totally valid thing, and I'm not going to argue against that. But there are people who have the same mindset that I have, that we kind of share this same opinion that we want to see console gaming thrive, and we firmly believe, because it seems like it's kind of proven in the numbers, that the only way that can happen is with true console exclusive games. And I'm not sitting here saying that it's going to be a massive deal if Death Stranding goes to PC, because once again, we do need to realize that this game was initially announced for PS4 and PC. So, I just want to make it clear where I stand when people bring up, well, the argument, if a game is on only one console and also PC, we can still call it an exclusive. Listen, you just can't. I'm sorry, I'm not going to create a double standard here. One of my biggest issues with Xbox was them deciding that they're not going to have exclusives to their console anymore. In my opinion, you're basically just foregoing the identity of your console, and you're giving consumers just one less major reason to not look at your console and not buy it. Think about Halo Infinite for a second. People have this idea that Halo Infinite is going to cause a massive surge in sales with Xbox Scarlet, and it's just not. It's not. Like, people know they're going to be able to get it on PC, and there's a lot of people who are really hyped about that, who these people would have originally, if it wasn't available on PC, said, I'm going to buy an Xbox Scarlet to play Halo Infinite, and now they're just not going to. So there's a lot of lost sales just because of that. Don't get me wrong, there's a lot of reasons why the Xbox One is struggling, but make no mistake about it, one of the biggest reasons is because a while ago, Microsoft just decided that exclusive games are not important to their Xbox One console, and ever since then, it just seems like it's kind of been going downhill, and we can all see that. Now, there are some people who are afraid that Sony's going to adopt the same approach. Sony's becoming more lenient. The truth is, I don't know. Okay, I don't know the future. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh yeah, Sony's not going to do this, take it to the bank, because I don't know. Okay, I don't work for Sony. I don't have an inside source at Sony. I don't know what their plans are. I can only go based off of what they say to us, and what we know as of right now is that they see the importance of exclusive games. They're going to be doubling down on exclusive games, and there are going to be times where not every game that they bring to the PS4 is going to be a true exclusive. In the case of Death Stranding and Kojima Productions, maybe one of the only ways Sony could make it so that the game was going to be exclusive to just the PS4 console is if they agreed to let them release it on PC. And so maybe that's just a deal they had to make. But again, we don't know. And I'm just ultimately trying to get to the root of this conversation where, first of all, if Death Stranding goes to PC, it's not a big deal. It's not the end of the world. Would I prefer it to be just a console exclusive? Personally, for me, yes, because that means, hey, it's going to incentivize more people who are interested in this game to go out there and support console gaming. It doesn't mean I want to exclude people. It's not the idea of exclusion. It's just the idea of, we hear all this talk all the time about how console gaming is going to go away and, it's going to be a thing of the past. And I just don't want that to happen anytime soon. But I do firmly believe that if we get rid of exclusive games, that's going to happen much sooner than I think any console gamer would like it to happen. So that's just the way it is, guys. I can't sit here and create a double standard. Again, I've always had an issue when Microsoft said we don't care about exclusives anymore. Exclusives are not important to us. We're just going to release all our games on Game Pass and on PC at the same time. And I just hope Sony doesn't follow this. I don't think they will. Again, looking at what Sony's saying, you're not seeing them releasing any of their big major first-party titles through, on PC. The thing that's worth noting here is that, Death Stranding does use the Decima engine, which is a Sony-owned engine. The Sony owns the IP, so who knows? I'm sure, honestly, that Kojima was very hesitant to do any type of exclusivity deal, and I'm sure that he had his own terms. Him and his team had his own terms where if they were going to agree to do console-only version for Sony, then there was going to have to be some agreements, some things that Sony was going to have to agree to on their end in order to make it a reality, in order to make it happen. So there's a reason why it was announced as a PS4 and PC game. But we don't know. Who knows? Maybe this means nothing. Maybe it will truly be a PS4 console exclusive. But I just feel as though it's worth pointing this information out to you guys. Don't be shocked if it does end up going to PC. Don't throw a fit. Just all I would really like at this point is for Sony to clear things up, and maybe at Gamescom they are going to clear things up. At the end of the day, though, I think it is truly important for any platform holder, especially those that are trying to sell console hardware, truly important for them to have true console exclusives that give people a real reason to support console gaming and buy the hardware. It's not about exclusion. I need to emphasize that again. It's not about that. It's not about being able to brag about how look at what we got and you don't have it. No, it's about wanting to keep something alive and thriving that we all enjoy. And that's all it really comes down to. So at this point, I'm going to ask you, let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Leave the video a like if you did enjoy it. Really helps it out. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Hit the bell notification icon and feel free to share this video out on top of all that. But until next time, guys, take care.